he moves quite as well. Although you say he has great pocket feet, and he does, but I still don't think he moves quite as well as he once did. I think the biggest reason that Tom Brady has enjoyed success is the talent level around him. I believe this is the most talented offense that he's been a part of.
I agree.
Even if you include the 2007, when you factor in Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, the two tight ends.
He handpicked it because of that. Go ahead.
So I think that has a lot to do with it, Skip. Really good receivers, two good tight ends. Offensive line has been better than they thought it would, because offensive line, Tristan Wirth, you can see why they traded up, one spot, two spots to make sure they get that guy. There's like, if Brady's coming here, we need to make sure he's protected, because there's nothing worse than a quarterback that's agitated because he cannot, he's not getting the protection that he needs. The difference is between Tom and other quarterbacks is that Tom was able during the bye week to convince BA to give me a little bit of what I did in New England.
No doubt.
Give me some motion, give me some play action. Where he got the other guys in their younger stages, and that was all they knew. So they ran BA's offense. No risk it, no biscuit, push the ball down the field.
Yep.
And we saw when Tom has to throw the ball down the field more than he wants, bad things happen. We saw, they said he only had 17 turnover-worthy plays. Well, he's had like 6 or 7 of those just in the playoffs.
Yep.
So I think that has a lot to do with it, Skip. Is he the same player this year that he say he was even 5 years ago? No, but the talent around him is exponentially better than what he had 5 years ago. So you don't really notice if it's, Skip, if it's a drop-off in his play.
Okay. So the operative word in what I'm about to talk about is separation. And where you and I have separated all year long is, I'm going to say it one more time. Tom Brady looks just like Tom Brady to me. He looks like 43 going on 23. I see no decline in any skills, any foot skills or arm skills.
Okay.
You have suggested he was washed up last year. And I'm going with the hashtag washed goat because
that hashtag has already been taken.
Washed king was taken a year ago, and then he unwashed it, right? And I'll give you that. Well, Brady just unwashed it, and now it's just hashtag goat. There's no washed in front of it anymore. I'm sorry. I actually think his arm has gotten stronger in his later years as he's worked more and more closely with the guy Colin Cowherd had on his show yesterday, Tom House, who's based out here at USC. Guy I know very well from his years as the pitching coach of the Texas Rangers. He is a genius at throwing mechanics. He's helped everybody. Drew Brees, name somebody, he's helped them out. And I think he has helped Tom perfect his release and his delivery to the point that the arm looks stronger than ever to me.
Let me ask you this, though. Do you believe Tom would have looked as good as he did this year had he stayed in New England?
Okay, good question. Now I'm going to ask the question that Pro Football Focus asked to go into the stat breakdown. How could a quarterback at Brady's age follow up a down season, which you said he had, it wasn't pretty, a down season like 2019 with such an elite season and 3 straight playoff road wins en route to his 10th Super Bowl appearance? Question mark. The key word is separation. Do you remember Brady sitting on the bench during a lull in play last year, and we got to hear him mic'd up, or you could hear the boom mic catch him, and he was saying, separate. Remember, he's yelling at his receiver, separate.
Yes.
So, what is the essence of throwing and catching a football? It's separation. What could Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp do for John Elway or even for Trent Dilfer? He could separate. You have to be able to see Shannon, 84, is starting to distance himself from the linebacker.
The quarterback needs to see some air between you and the defender.
And it needs to be starting to move this way where you can see I am able to get the ball to him before they close on him.
Yes.
Okay, last year, I kept telling you the New England Patriots were dead last in what Pro Football Focus ranked as separation. They just couldn't get open. And all of a sudden, he gets some receivers who can separate. And I'm not saying there's a Tyreek there because there's not. I'm not even saying there's a Kelsey there because there's definitely not a Kelsey.
Compared to what he had in New England, that's what they are.
That's what they are. I totally agree. So I don't want to stat everybody to death, but please bear with me because these are worth mentioning.
Okay.
Try to let these soak in. What he just pulled off with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who led the league in turnovers last year, thanks to Jameis, who had a horrendous year in no risk it, no biscuit offense, and they led the league in penalties. Well, that's a bad combination.
Right.
Okay. Tom Brady led this league this year in deep ball yards and attempts. So think about this. Just in deep ball attempts, he's throwing it farther. He's risking more than anybody risked. Well, if you have a noodle arm, you're just not capable. Arians would see that right away and say, we got to dial it down. We got to dumb it down. We can't try that. He's throwing bomb after bomb after bomb. Well, guess what happened in the first year that Andrew Luck tried this offense, or Jameis, or Carson Palmer? Each of those three guys had 40-plus what they call turnover-worthy plays. 40-plus. Guess how many Brady had this year? 17.
But here's the difference.
In his first year in Arians' offense.
What did all those guys do? All those guys was what coming out of college? Turnover prone. Jameis was a turnover machine.
He was.
Andrew Luck was a turnover machine.
I told you that 1,000 times.
And the thing is, Skip, is that, like I said,
I'm not saying Carson Palmer was a turnover machine, but okay, go ahead.
But I look at this. I look at it like this, Skip. You got young guys, and the only offense they know is the offense you're teaching them.
Okay.
So they didn't have anything that they could pull back on and says, well, BA, can we do some of this? BA, can we do some of that? Thomas says, BA, check this out. I understand that your offense, and it's a very good offense, but in order for me to maximize what I can do really well, can you give me a little of this? Can you give me a little of that? If you look at BA when he had Peyton Manning never won in motion. Guys line up, Marvin, you on the right, Reggie, you on the left, Dallas Clark, Brandon Stokely, you on the slot. We're going to relimb personnel. Guys out. That's what we did. But all of a sudden, after the bye week, what did they come out doing, Skip? You see motion. You see Godwin in motion. You see Scotty Miller in motion. You see the tight ends bounce, go in short motion and come back. You see play action a lot more than what we saw the first 8, 9, 10, 11 games of the season. So he allowed Tom to do some of the things that he did really well. It's like a chef, Skip. I understand that this is but can you allow me to put some of my pizzazz into it, Skip? We're going to still cook some ratatouille. But can I pizzazz it up a little bit?
All right, couple more stats. So Brady led the whole league in deep ball attempts, yet he also led the league. He was #1 in the NFL in lowest turnover-worthy plays. It was 2.2% of all those deep throws. Nobody threw it deeper more than Brady did, but on turnover-worthy, he was at the top of the list in fewest. Okay? You got to credit that. You got to honor that.
Did they do playoffs? Because guess who's at the top of the list in playoff and turnover-worthy plays? Who do you think is at the top of the list, Skip?
Okay, but we're just doing, this is from the regular season. Okay, but guess who's ranked #1 by Pro Football Focus in overall grade of playoff quarterbacks? #1, Tom Brady.
I don't know
#1. Well, I do.
How is he ranked in front of Patrick Mahomes?
Hey, look at his QBRs. They're outstanding.
Patrick, has he ever had a 96? Which one is it better than 96?
But his 3 were up in the, up close to 80.
Where was Patrick Mahomes? I mean, he did get knocked out of game 3. Skip, Brady threw 12 interceptions in the regular season, which was 6th most. He threw 3 in Green Bay, which should have been 5.
Okay. All right, but it was 3, and one of them wasn't his fault. The middle one off Mike Evans hits him. He gets both hands on it. It's intercepted.
Okay, what hold on. Well, Skip, the one he threw to Chris Godwin should have been intercepted. It's a whole safety, and he threw it. Why would you throw that?
All right, okay, I got it. Now, I'm going to finish these stats here. This is during the regular season. First read throws, so he's getting rid of the football. He was 2nd in passing grade in the whole league on first read throws. So he's just saying, boom, it's gone.
Yeah, it's open. If it's open, you take it.
And guess who had the 3rd best pass protection in the league? This guy did.
Yes.
Okay, so it all goes together.
Yes.
Separating. I can see you quickly, and I'm going to get the ball to you quickly, and I'm being protected.
So in other words, it's not so much that he's improved. The environment around him has improved.
No, but the offense is rigged. It's geared to making
Yes.
big mistakes. That's what they do.
No.
Every quarterback in the first year made huge mistakes. The great ones made huge mistakes.
We've never, well, he got Peyton Manning as a rookie. He got Andrew Luck as a rookie. He got Ben Roethlisberger as a young player. So the only guy that had some time under his belt was Carson Palmer.
Yeah.
And Carson Palmer had gotten beaten up so much in Cincinnati. He was a little gunshot. But Skip, my thing is that you gave me all those stats, and you said the separation, and you said the offensive line protection. So in other words, everything around him has gotten better. He might be the same player that he was in New England, but because everything else around him has gotten better, he looks better.
Yeah, he's the same player he was in New England when he was 23. That's what's happening.
Now, Skip, he wasn't that player. The 23-year-old was a game manager.
Okay,
this
well,
guy,
at his peak in New England, he has reached that peak.
Yeah, his peak probably what, 2007 started that peak?
Yep. And just real quick, I got to show you one throw, and tell me this looks like a rag arm throw, if you would. This one's to Tyler Johnson in the fourth quarter. He steps into this.